Hello, fellow vapors. Vaping Newbie here, and we're going to be looking at a new device called the SMY60, or newish device. And I want to apologize because the video will be slightly longer than I'm used to doing, but there's a lot going on with this machine. This comes from a company called Simeiyue, I believe it's pronounced, in China, and I got it through Gearbest.com. The link for them will be down below. They have some really, really good gear. You want to go check them out. And particularly, before we even start, I want to thank my friend Anita. I heard about Gearbest through Whacked Out, the forum up here in Canada, whackedout.com. I was looking at some of the posts from Gearbest, and we started chatting. And I want to thank her. The service was absolutely impeccable. So, Anita, nice job. Your company should be proud of you. So let's go down below and see what's in this pouch. Okay, this is how I got it. It's in this little case, SMY60 on the top, and that is the color of the carbon fiber back, and we'll see that in a minute. And then on the other side, you have the authentication sticker. You just scratch that off, and you can go onto SMY and run the authentication. You have a little belt clip here, but I don't know if I put this on a belt. But I think that, you know, really nice presentation, really well put together. I like that idea. You open this up, and there you go. There's the device. We'll look at that in a minute. You have a charge cable that will charge into a USB, and of course you can use an adapter to plug it into a wall. They even give you a little cleaning cloth to take fingerprints off and whatnot. You have the blue-handled screwdriver. This is a flathead, and then you have the inspection sticker. There's also a pretty good instruction booklet, well illustrated, and it sort of walks you through everything that you need to know. And very impressed with that thus far. And now to the device. Okay, I got the packaging out of the way, and we'll take a little tour or walk around it a bit. This is the back, SMY60 logo here, and it has a carbon fiber look to it on the back. This comes in red, blue, and black. This is obviously the black. You have the screen here. Now, it looks like it's scratched, but it's only the protective covering that's on it that I'm kind of anal about that. That'll be the last thing I actually take off. The top, you have an adjustable 510 connection. It is not spring-loaded, but you should be able to see the flathead screw that's in there, and sort of goes with the screwdriver they give you. On the bottom, you have your input for the cable charger, and there's your vent holes. On the side, you have your fire button, which is also your on-off, and then your plus and minus buttons, which will do other functions. It does not have a plus or minus, but Leap of Faith tells me this is going to be plus, and that's going to be minus. So let's get a battery in here. One of the things I found was it's got the magnets on the back, which makes it a lot more pleasant. But one of the things I find strange, let's take a look at the inside first, though. That's really cleanly done. Really nice. Nothing really visible. You have that large plus and minus to remind you how to put in batteries, but it does have reverse battery protection. One of the things I found interesting was when I was putting the batteries in, these are the magnets, and the magnets sort of attract the battery. I had a hard time getting the battery in. So the best way to do it is not actually like this, but to lay it as flat as possible and then push both at the same time. And then you have this tab, which will help you release it. And although I do appreciate it, it is a bit of a pain to get it out of the way so you can put the lid on. So there you go. And when we turn it around, there's the screen. We're going to change angles and take a good look at everything that's on this screen. Okay, so now let's take a look at the screen and all the information that's on here. You'll see at the top a bunch of zeros in a row, and that is a puff counter. You have over here on this side, you have the battery life indicator. And then here it just says that there's an atomizer attached. Right now, of course, there's no atomizer, so there's no information. It defaults to 15 watts. When you take out the battery and put the battery back in, it will default back to 15 watts. You have over here a basic and generic voltage. So if I took an atomizer, and I'm going to put on a 0.5 ohm atomizer, and now you see the numbers start to change. It tells you, first of all, the amperage needed, the voltage needed to attain the 15 watts, and then over here you have the resistance of the atomizer. Underneath that, you have the clock. And I've taken the battery out and put it back on, and it remembered the time. So that's a big plus. And then over on this side, you see these two numbers in green. That is actually the timer of how long you've held the fire button. Underneath, you'll see a tachometer. Now, as I change the wattage, you'll see that tachometer start to rise. It really doesn't do anything other than it's decorative. And actually, I'll be honest, I like the look of it. Underneath the tachometer or speedometer, depends on how you want to look at it, there are 4 boxes, and I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, but what you can do is you can lock the device, you can unlock the device, you can set the time, the date, you could maximize the amount of times you press the fire button. So you can actually say, I only want to do 300 puffs in a day, and it'll stop at that and let you know that you've only done 300 puffs, or that you've already done 300 puffs. It'll also set the timer to let you know what, I want the screen to stay on for X amount of time after I've pushed the button. So I push the button, and it's going to reset everything. You see that green light? I didn't have it on, but the puff counter changed. And if I was to hold that, so I had the button pressed and firing for 1 second. I can actually tailor that to say, okay, I want to stop it after 5 seconds. So I do not want to do a draw longer than 5 seconds, and it'll just cut off. That is all done with the buttons on the side, of course, and the up and down buttons. It is fairly easy to scroll through the menu. Again, to start it, 5 clicks. You want to shut down, yes or no, is the plus or minus. So if I go over here, press no, go there. Now I could press 3 times, and you'll notice a box appears. I can now use the minus button to scroll through the various boxes, and then use the plus minus to go back. If I want to go into the settings, I want to get over there, I just press the fire button, and there are my settings. So I have the overtime setting, the screen setting. So let's take a look at the screen setting and see what's there. The screen setting means it'll stay on for 5 minutes. By pressing the minus button, by pressing the plus button, I can change that. By pressing the fire button again, it's now set. By pressing the minus button, you'll be able to scroll, and the plus button will go up. So you have a vape setting. That is what I was talking about if you want to do it manual mode, or you want to do it in auto mode. And when you click down to auto mode, you've just set that it's an automatic vapor, and you're using the amount of information that you're going to input for that. You have the date and time. I just want to, before I go anywhere, I want to change that because I want it back in manual mode. I don't want them telling me what to do. There we go. And you have the date and time set. We can take a look at that. But we're going to just exit because everything's set up. And you have your puffs info. So the total amount of puffs I've done is 2. The total time has been 1 second. I can reset it, either the puffs or reset the total time. That, of course, will be lost when you change the battery, okay? And the last one, of course, is setting how many puffs. So reset your puff limit, set a puff limit. Let's go there. So if I want to have 100 puffs a day, 101, and, look how fast that this thing's going to spin. So we'll put that at, I think it goes up to 999. We'll go take a look. And again, these are all just toys that I just find, are they necessary? Probably not, but they're built in, and I like that. So round robins after that. So I don't know if it allows you to put 0. I didn't check that. No. Okay. So $9.99, and the max. There was a message there. I didn't see it. So if I want to go up there, reset my puff limit, the max, try it again. The max puff limit has been released. So they're allowing me to do that. We hit exit, and then of course we just hit exit again, and you're back to the main screen. So this does go up to 60 watts. It does not round robin, so you have to go all the way back down to 7 watts. I'm going to set this at about 30. That was pretty close. And we'll take I put on an atomizer, as you saw. So it's that 0.6 ohm coil on it. We're going to take it up top and take a puff. Before we take it for a spin, I wanted to put up to show you the differences. This is the Simeiyue 150. This is the SMY60. The SMY60 slightly shorter, slightly narrower, but slightly thicker. Let's be fair. Put the buttons there. Slightly thicker. But keep in mind, folks, the Simeiyue 150 is a dual 18650 battery, which means a lot of vape time, and the SMY60 is only a 18650 battery. So you keep that in mind. But you can see that they're comparable in size. There's slight difference in size. A slight smaller size on the SMY60, but more girth to it. So let me get that atomizer back on. We'll fire it up and see where it goes. Okay, we're back up top, and I want to show you something that I turned it on and off. So you can see that all the settings are still the same. The puff counter, the wattage, nothing's changed turning it on and off. Okay, we're back to a normal view, and I want to apologize for that awful editing. So far, I already have one issue, and I want to use this for a bit. I've given you the basics. I want to use it for a bit, and then I'll be able to give you the plus and minuses on it. So far, I do like the feel and look of it, but I'd rather use it for a bit longer and then talk about it. I apologize. This is a longish video. Please stay with me. Okay, task number one. I put on different atomizers, and one of the things I noticed is when you look on the screen on your, let's see, left side, if I can get that into focus for you, you see it on the on your left-hand side. You can see the resistance of the tank, and in this case, the dripper. I'm just going to unscrew this a bit, and right away you see that has disappeared. And simply turning that, boom, it tells you you're making contact with it. So that's a plus. And I dialed it up to 55 watts, and the reaction time or the startup time is actually really good. So it's thus far working well. Now, having said that, I've been using this for about 3 straight hours. I've had different resistances, so therefore I'm using different wattages. And in that 3.5 hours, I've gone through half a battery. I don't think I'm going to be vaping at 55 watts all day. I'll probably be dialing it down to about 20 to 25 watts, depending on which tank I want. So it's going to be an interesting test to see how long the batteries will last on it, because I'm used to the dual 18650s now. And you get a full day. Again, 20 to 25, maybe 30 watts. So I'm going to be running that test, but it seems to be working really well. Does what it's supposed to do. So let's put it through a full day's test, get some mileage on it, and see. We'll take it from there. Before I get to my final thoughts, I did want to show you. I have it plugged into the computer, and you can see here there is a red light there. On the other side, there is a light, and when it's fully charged, it'll go on. It now has pass-through. Not a problem, but there is an issue. We'll get to that in a minute. As I always do, I like to accentuate the positive, and I know it's a song, I'm pretty sure. I love the look of it. I've gotten so many compliments on how cool this looks. It is something different. It was thought outside the box. I like the feel of it. I like the fact that it's a rounded box mod. I like what they did here in the back with the carbon fiber. That look to it, it just completes it. I used it with stainless steel addies. I used it with black. Look good either way. And again, you can, there are the other colors. There's blue and red available as well. So that is really superficial things that I liked about it. And more technical things I didn't like about it. Well, let's get down to business here. I put in a battery at 5:30 in the morning. I changed that battery around 12:30 in the afternoon because it had died. I put in another battery. The puff counter reset, so I'm going to do some math for you here. And then it's dead now, and it is 8:30. So from 5:30 in the morning till 8:30 in the evening, two 18650 batteries. That one change in the middle of the day. Not a big deal. I would do that with my SX Mini, so I have no issue with that. However, and that was good for about, here comes math, folks, about 350 puffs that I've done in that duration of time. Now, I was really busy at work, so I didn't pay much attention to it, so it's kind of on the lower side for me. Another thing, I wish it had a spring-loaded 510 connection. I've changed the tank. I've used 4 tanks in the dripper. I've had to adjust the 510 connection 3 times. Would have been a lot easier if it just had a spring-loaded connection. This annoys the hell out of me. Every time I pick it up, it shifts a bit. That just bothers me. And then there is the screen. And this was kind of funny. When you first get it, it'll probably default to like a minute. So after not using it for a minute, it shuts down. In order to get it going again, you press the plus and minus together, and it unlocks. You're sitting around a house, you're at work, that's not a big deal. If you're driving a car, you have to now fumble with the 2 buttons. And yes, I know I could do it with one hand, but the fact of the matter is you have to look at the screen and make sure you unlock it. So what do? You increase that time. I have it set for 25 minutes, which means the screen will stay lit for 25 minutes. It's got to be sucking the battery life. So you probably could have gotten better battery life, but that lock feature, and then if I want to put it in my pocket and lock that button, I have to turn it off, or I have to go through that whole scroll menu to lock the button. So there should have been an easier way to do it. That's my point. Maybe my own stupidity. I had a hard time putting the battery in. Now I do have a little shake. The battery kept it being attracted to the magnet that was on the side. I would have liked to see them put some kind of notch in the back so it'll prevent that back from sliding around, and it gives you a vantage point to put the case back on. But again, it is what it is. It's the way it's made. Overall, it's a nice mod. I do like it. I think they packed it well. And right now, and it's the 29th of April, if you go on Gearbest.com and use the coupon SMY lowercase 60, you'll pick this up for about $69 US. That's a good deal, and of course free shipping. So it is a really good deal. It's a 60-watt mod, 18650 battery. It is big. It looks, in my opinion, looks really, really good. They did a good job. The fingerprints on this front, yeah, they've been there all day. I keep wiping it. I have a cloth at work. I kept wiping it, but they just keep coming back. So what is my final thought on this? This is really difficult. I'm staying on the fence. I'm not sure. I think that the negatives, the little things, if you can get past those, it's a good mod. If you can get past the back shaking, if you can get past that screen, and again, you set that, so that's not a big issue. Overall, yeah, I hate to say it, I liked it. I'll tell you, day one, the first half of the day, it was driving me nuts. And I went, wait a second, change the screen. I changed the screen so that it wouldn't go to sleep. No issue. And I've been liking it ever since. Would it be my go-to? Probably not, because I'm now used to not having to change a battery with a dual 18650. But it is definitely now a proud member of my collection. The presentation it comes in, absolutely magnificent. So I think that SMY did a very, very nice job. For $69, you can't really do much better. And I should point out, that's probably US. So that's it. That's the SMY60. I do enjoy it, having a good time. Oh, on a side note, I tried to use the authentication, wouldn't work, and they kept coming back with a message in Chinese. So I don't know what's up with that. But it's obviously authentic. You're not going to really clone something like this that I know of. However, Gearbest wouldn't say it's an authentic and then send a clone. So that's not an issue. I just found it interesting. Overall, I want to thank Gearbest for sending me out this. I hope we can hook up again. And I want to single out Anita. Her service was just magnificent. We've been chatting back and forth since we got this, just discussing different things. It was Anita that hooked me up to that promo code. Go on their Facebook page. That's going to be down below as well. They have contests. They have announcements on there, so it's good to keep up. So again, thank you, Gearbest. Folks, I hope you got something out of this. It is a longish video, and I apologize, but there's a lot going on with this mod. And I'm glad you dropped by. You know I like having you over. So stay healthy and happy vaping. Take care, folks.